Shalom, my brothers and sisters, Bibleaholics everywhere, and welcome. Welcome to Advanced Study Class. Tonight we're starting in Jubilees, which is an advanced study from the Dead Sea Scrolls. Okay? So if you happen to have a book that has the Dead Sea Scrolls in it, go ahead and pull up Jubilees and follow along, read along with me. Okay? So as we go through this, then we can read it together and learn together, because this expands the Exodus. This starts out in Genesis and it expands all of Genesis and all of Exodus. So, if you do not have a running knowledge of the Bible, you probably ought to go back to Genesis 1:1 and start there. Okay? Because this might be talking about stuff that you have no idea what it's talking about. Like I said, this is advanced learning. So, let's go ahead with that said, and we will get started this evening, okay? The Book of Jubilees, the Little Genesis, or the Apocalypse of Moshe. This is the history of how the days were divided, and of the days of the law, and of the testimony, of the events of the years, and of the weeks of years, of their jubilees throughout all the years of the world, as the Elohim spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai when he went up to receive the tablets of the law and the commandment, according to the voice of Yahweh, when he said to him, "Go up to the top of the mount." Okay? Chapter 1. It happened in the first year of the exodus of the children of Israel out of Mitzrayim, in the 3rd month, on the 16th day of the month, that Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, "Come up to me on the mountain, and I will give you 2 tablets of stone of the law and the commandment, which I have written, that you may teach them." Moshe went up into the mountain of Yahweh, and the glory of the Elohim rested on Mount Sinai, and a cloud overshadowed it 6 days. He called to Moshe on the 7th day, out of the middle of the cloud, and the appearance of the glory of Yahweh was like a flame on the top of the mountain. Moshe was on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights, and Yahweh taught him the earlier and the later history of the division of all the days of the law and of the testimony. Take note, 40 days and 40 nights. That's a reoccurring number. The flood, anybody? 40 days and 40 nights? He said, "Open your heart to every word which I shall speak to you on this mountain, and write them in a book, in order that their generations may see how I have not forsaken them for all the evil which they have committed, when they transgressed the covenant which I established between me and you for their generations this day on Mount Sinai. It will come to pass, when all these things come on them, that they will recognize that I am more righteous than they in all their judgments and in all their actions, and they will recognize that I have truly been with them. Write all these words for yourself which I speak to you today, for I know their rebellion and their stubbornness, before I brought them into the land of which I swore to their fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, saying, Unto your offspring will I give a land flowing with milk and honey. They will eat and be satisfied, and they will turn to strange gods, to gods that cannot deliver them from any of their tribulation, and this witness shall be heard for a witness against them. They will forget all my commandments, even all that I command them, and they will walk in the ways of the Gentiles, and after their uncleanness, and after their shame, and will serve their gods. And these will prove to them an offense, and a tribulation, and a sickness, and a trap. Many will perish, and they will be taken captive, and will fall into the hands of the enemy, because they have forsaken my laws and my commandments, and the festivals of my covenant, and my Sabbaths, and my holy place, which I have made holy for myself in their presence, and my tabernacle, and my sanctuary, which I have made holy for myself in the midst of the land, that I should set my name on it, and that it should reside there. They will make themselves high places, and places of worship, and graven images. Each will worship graven images of his own making. Thus they will go astray. They will sacrifice their children to demons, and to all errors their heart can work. I will send witnesses to them, that they may testify against them. But they will not hear. They will kill the witnesses. They will persecute those who seek the law, and they will abolish and change everything in the law, so as to work evil before my eyes. I will hide my face from them. I will deliver them into the hands of the Gentiles. They will be captured like prey for their eating. I will remove them from the out of the land. I will scatter them among the Gentiles. And they will forget my laws and all my commandments and all my judgments. They will go astray regarding the observance of new moons and Sabbaths and festivals and jubilees and laws. After this, they will turn to me from among the Gentiles with all their heart and with all their soul and with all their strength. And I will gather them from among all the Gentiles, and they will seek me. I shall be found by them when they seek me with all their heart and with all their soul. I will allow them to see abounding peace with righteousness. I will remove them and plant of uprightness with all my heart and with all my soul. And they shall be for a blessing and not for a curse. And they shall be the head and not the tail. I will build my sanctuary among them, and I will dwell with them, and I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people in truth and righteousness. I will not forsake them, nor fail them, for I am Yahweh, their Elohim. Moshe fell on his face and prayed and said, O Yahweh, my Elohim, do not forsake your people and your inheritance, so that they should wander in the error of their hearts, and do not deliver them to the hands of their enemies, the Gentiles, so that they should rule over them, and cause them to sin against you. Let your mercy, O Yahweh, be lifted up on your people, and create in them an upright spirit, and let not the spirit of Baal rule over them, to accuse them before you, and to ensnare them from all paths of righteousness, so that they may perish from before your face. But they are your people, and your inheritance, which you have delivered with your great power from the hands of the Mitzraites. Create in them a clean heart and a holy spirit, and let them not be ensnared in their sins from now on until eternity. The Elohim said to Moshe, I know their contrariness, and their thoughts, and their stubbornness, and they will not be obedient until they confess their own sin and the sin of their fathers. After this, they will turn to me in all uprightness, and with all their heart and with all their soul, and I will circumcise the foreskin of their heart, and the foreskin of their heart of the offspring, and I will create in them a holy spirit, and I will cleanse them so that they shall not turn away from me from that day to eternity. And their souls will cling to me, and to all my commandments, and they will fulfill my commandments, and I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my children. They all shall be called children of the living Elohim, and every angel and every spirit shall know, yes, they shall know that these are my children, and that I am their Father in uprightness and righteousness, and that I love them. Write down for yourself all these words, which I say to you on this mountain, from the first to the last, which shall come to pass in all divisions of the days, in the law, and in the testimony, and in the weeks, and the jubilees to eternity, until I descend and dwell with them throughout eternity. He said to the angel of the presence of the Elohim, write for Moshe, from the beginning of creation until my sanctuary has been built among them for all eternity. The Elohim will appear to the eyes of all, and all shall know that I am Yahweh of Israel, and the father of all the children of Jacob, and king on Mount Zion for all eternity, and Zion and Jerusalem shall be holy. The angel of the presence of the Elohim, who went before the camp of Israel, took the tables of the divisions of the years, written from the time of the creation concerning the law, and the testimony of the weeks of the Jubilees, according to the individual years, according to the numbering of all the Jubilees, from the day of the new creation which the heavens and the earth shall be renewed, and all their creation according to the powers of the heaven, and according to all the creations of the earth, until the sanctuary of the Elohim shall be made in Jerusalem on Mount Zion, and all the stars and planets be renewed for healing, peace, and blessing for all the elect of Israel, and that this is the way it may be from that day and to all the days of the earth. Chapter 2. The angel of the presence of Elohim spoke to Moshe, according to the word of Yahweh, saying, write the complete history of the creation, how in 6 days Yahweh, the Elohim, finished all his works, and all that he created, and kept Sabbath on the 7th day, and made it holy for all ages, and appointed it as a sign for all his works. For on the first day he created the heavens which are above the earth, and the waters, and all the spirits which serve before him, which are the angels of the presence of the Elohim, and the angels of sanctification, and the angels of the spirit of fire, and the angels of the spirit of the winds, and the angels of the spirit of the clouds, and of darkness, and of snow, and of hail, and of white frost, and the angels of the voices, and of the thunder, and of the lightning, and the angels of the spirits of cold, and of heat, and of winter, and of spring, and of autumn, and of summer, and of all the spirits of his creatures, which are in the heavens and on the earth. He created the bottomless pit, and the darkness, evening and night, and the light, dawn and day, which he has prepared in the knowledge of his heart. When we saw his works, we praised him, and worshipped before him, because of all his works. For 7 great works did he create on the first day. On the second day he created the sky between the waters, above and below, and the waters were divided on that day. Half of them went up above the sky, and half of them went down below the sky that was in the middle over the face of the whole earth. And this was the only work Yahweh created on the second day. On the third day he commanded the waters to pass from off the face of the whole earth into one place, and the dry land to appear. The waters did as he commanded them, and they receded from off the face of the earth into one place, and the dry land appeared. On that day he created for them all the seas, according to their separate gathering places, and all the rivers, and the gatherings of the waters in the mountains, and on all the earth, and all the lakes, and all the dew of the earth, and the seed which is sown, and all the sprouting things, and fruit-bearing trees, and trees of the wood, and fingers. The Garden of Eden, in Eden, and throughout. These four great works Yahweh created on the third day. On the fourth day he created the sun, and the moon, and the stars, and set them in the sky of the heaven, to give light on all the earth, and to rule over the day and the night, and divide the light from the darkness. Yahweh appointed the sun to be a great sign on the earth for days, and for Sabbaths, and for months, and for feasts, and for years, and for Sabbaths of years, and for jubilees, and for all seasons of the years. And it divides the light from the darkness for prosperity, that all things may prosper which sprout and grow on the earth. These three kinds he made on the fourth day. On the fifth day he created great sea monsters in the depths of the waters, for these were the first things of flesh that were created by his hands, the fish, and everything that moves in the waters, and everything that flies, the birds, and all their kind. And the sun rose above them to make them prosper, and the sun rose above everything that was on the earth, everything that sprouts out of the earth, and all fruit-bearing trees, and all flesh. He created these three kinds on the fifth day. On the sixth day he created all the animals of the earth, and all cattle, and everything that moves on the earth. And after this he created man. He created a man and a woman, and gave him dominion over all that is on the earth, and in the seas, and over everything that flies, and over beasts, and over cattle, and over everything that moves on the earth, and over the whole earth, and over all this he gave him dominion. He created these four kinds on the sixth day, and they were altogether 22 kinds. He finished all his work on the sixth day. That is all that is in the heavens, and on the earth, and in the seas, and in the abysses, and in the light, and in the darkness, and in everything. He gave us a great sign, the Sabbath day, that we should work 6 days, but keep the Sabbath on the seventh day from all work. All the angels of the presence of Yahweh, and all the angels of sanctification, these two great types of angels he has told to tell us to keep the Sabbath with him in heaven and on earth. And he said to us, Look, I will separate to myself a people from among all the peoples, and these shall keep the Sabbath day, and I will sanctify them to myself as my people, and will bless them, as I have sanctified the Sabbath day, and do sanctify it to myself. Even so will I bless them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their Elohim. I have chosen the offspring of Jacob from among all that I have seen, and have written him down as my firstborn son, and have sanctified him to myself for ever and ever. And I will teach them the Sabbath day, that they may keep Sabbath on it from all work. He created in it a sign in accordance with which they should keep the Sabbath with us on the seventh day, to eat and to drink, and to bless him who has created all things, as he has blessed and sanctified to himself a particular, exclusive people above all people, that they should keep Sabbath together with us. He caused his commands to rise up as a sweet odor, acceptable before him all the days. There were 22 heads of mankind, from Adam to Jacob, and 22 kinds of work, creation, were made until the seventh day. This is blessed and holy, and the former also is blessed and holy, and this one serves with that one for sanctification and blessing. Jacob and his offspring were granted that they should always be the blessed and holy ones of the first testimony and law, even as he had sanctified and blessed the Sabbath day on the seventh day. He created heaven and earth and everything that he created in 6 days, and Yahweh made the seventh day holy for all his works. Therefore he commanded on its behalf that whoever does any work on it shall die, and that he who defiles it shall surely die. Because of this, command the children of Israel to observe this day, that they may keep it holy, and not do on it any work, and not to defile it, as it is holier than all other days. Okay? When it says that they're going to die, it's a spiritual death. Just like when Adam and Eve were corrupted, it's a spiritual death. Okay? Verse 27. And whoever profanes it shall surely die, and whoever does any work on it shall surely die eternally, that the children of Israel may observe this day throughout their generations, and not be rooted out of the land. For it is a holy day, and a blessed day. Everyone who observes it, and keeps Sabbath on it from all his work, will be holy and blessed throughout all the days, as we are blessed. Declare and say to the children of Israel the law of this day, that they should keep Sabbath on it, and that they should not forsake it, in the error of their hearts, and that it is not lawful to do any work on it, which is not suitable, to do their own pleasure on it, that they should not prepare anything to be eaten or drunk on it, and that it is not lawful to draw water, or bring in or take out through their gates any burden which they had not prepared for themselves on the 6th day in their dwellings. They shall not bring or take anything from house to house on that day, for that day is more holy and blessed than any Jubilee day of the Jubilees. On this we kept Sabbath in the heavens before it was made known to any flesh to keep Sabbath on the earth. The Elohim of all things blessed it, but he did not sanctify all peoples and nations to keep Sabbath, but Israel alone. Them alone he permitted to eat and drink, and to keep Sabbath on the earth. And the Elohim of all things blessed this day which he had created for blessing and holiness, and glory above all days. This law and testimony was given to the children of Israel as a law forever to their generations. Chapter 3. On the 6th day of the 2nd week, according to the word of Yahweh, we brought to Adam all the beasts, and all the cattle, and all the birds, and everything that moves on the earth, and everything that moves in the water, according to their kinds, and according to their types. The beasts on the 1st day, the cattle on the 2nd day, the birds on the 3rd day, and all that moves on the earth on the 4th day, and that moves in the water on the 5th day. And Adam named them all by their respective names. As he called them, so was their names. So there he is, naming the animals. On these 5 days Adam saw all these, male and female, according to every kind that was on the earth. But he was alone, and found no helpmate. The Elohim said to us, "It is not good that the man should be alone. Let us make a helpmate for him." And Yahweh, our Elohim, caused a deep sleep to fall on him, and he slept, And he took from Adam a rib from among his ribs for the woman. And this rib was the origin of the woman. And he built up the flesh in its place, and built the woman. He awakened Adam out of his sleep, and on awakening he rose on the 6th day. And he brought her to him, and he knew her, and said to her, This is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called my wife, because she was taken from her husband. Therefore shall man and wife become one, and therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and cling to his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Take note, man and woman, man and his wife, not two guys, not two women, no furries, no stupidness, just male and female. Verse 7. Verse 8. In the first week, Adam was created, and from his rib, his wife. In the second week, Yahweh showed her to him. And for this reason, the commandment was given to keep in their defilement. A male should be purified in 7 days, and for a female, twice 7 days. After Adam had completed 40 days in the land where he had been created, we brought him into the Garden of Eden to till and to keep it. But his wife we brought in on the 18th day. After this, she entered into the Garden of Eden. And for this reason, the commandment is written on the heavenly tablets in regards to her that gives birth. If she bears a male, she shall remain unclean for 7 days, according to the first week of days. And 33 days shall she remain in the blood of her purifying. And she shall not touch any holy thing, nor enter into the sanctuary, until she completes these days, which are decreed in the case of a male child. This is all dealing with Levitic law. When we get into Leviticus, you'll understand all this, okay? Or you should already understand it if you've read Leviticus, and now it's being reread to you now. Verse 11. But in the case of a female child, she shall remain unclean 2 weeks of days, according to the first 2 weeks, and 66 days in the blood of her purification, and they will be in all 80 days. When she had completed these 80 days, we brought her into the Garden of Eden, for it is holier than all the earth beside, and every tree that is planted in it is holy. Therefore, there was ordained regarding her who bears a male or female child the statute of those days, that she should touch no holy thing, nor enter into the sanctuary, until these days for the male or female child are completed. This is the law and testimony that was written down for Israel, in order that they should observe it all the days. In the first week of the first Jubilee, Adam and his wife were in the Garden of Eden for 7 years, tilling and keeping it, and we gave him work, and we instructed him to do everything that is suitable for tillage. And he tilled the garden, and was naked, and did not realize it, and was not ashamed. He protected the garden from the birds and the beasts and the cattle. He gathered its fruit, and ate, and put aside that which was left over for himself and for his wife. After the completion of exactly 7 years there, and in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month, the serpent came, and approached the woman. And the serpent said to the woman, Has Yahweh commanded you, saying, You shall not eat of every tree in the garden? She said to it, Yahweh said to us, Of all the fruit of the trees of the garden eat, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the middle of the garden, Yahweh said to us, You shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, or you shall die." The serpent said to the woman, You shall not surely die. Yahweh does know that on the day you shall eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be as Elohims, and you will know good and evil." And the woman saw the tree, that it was beautiful and pleasant to the eye, and that its fruit was good for food, and she took of it and ate. First, she covered her shame with fig leaves. Then she gave the fruit to Adam, and he ate, and his eyes were opened, and he saw that he was naked. Now, you guys know about my interpretation of all of this because you've already gone through Genesis with me. It's not an apple or anything like that. Satan raped him. Satan raped Eve first, and then she was ashamed, because after you're sexually violated, you're ashamed. And then he raped Adam, and it made him ashamed. Verse 22, he took fig leaves and sewed them together and made an apron for himself and covered his shame. Yahweh cursed the serpent and was very angry at it forever. And he was very angry with the woman, because she listened to the voice of the serpent and ate. And he said to her, I will vastly multiply your sorrows and your pains. In sorrow you will bring forth children, and your master shall be your husband, and he will rule over you. To Adam also he said, Because you have listened to the voice of your wife, and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you not to eat, cursed be the ground for your sake. Thorns and thistles shall it produce for you, and you will eat your bread in the sweat of your face, until you return to the earth from where you were taken. For earth you are, and to the earth you will return. And he made for them coats of skin, and clothed them, and sent them out of the Garden of Eden. On that day on which Adam went out from the garden, he offered as a sweet odor an offering, frankincense, incense, and sweet spice, and spices in the morning with the rising of the sun from the day when he covered his shame. On that day was closed the mouth of all beasts, and of all cattle, and of birds, and of whatever walks, and of whatever moves, so that they could no longer speak, for they had all spoken one with another, with one dialect, and with one language. All flesh that was in the Garden of Eden he sent out of the Garden of Eden, and all flesh was scattered according to its kinds, and according to its types, the places that had been created for them. Of all the beasts and cattle, only to Adam alone he gave the ability to cover his shame. Because of this, it is prescribed on the heavenly tablets as touching all those who know the judgment of the law, that they should cover their shame, and should not uncover themselves as the Gentiles uncover themselves. On the new moon of the 4th month, Adam and his wife went out from the Garden of Eden, and they dwelt in the land of Eldah, in the land of their creation. And Adam called the name of his wife Eve. And they had no son until the first Jubilee, and after this he knew her. Now he tilled the land as he had been instructed in the Garden of Eden. We're going to stop there tonight. We're going to go ahead and do 3 chapters, and then we'll stop. Then we'll do 3 more chapters, and we'll stop. These chapters are a little bit longer than the ones of Enoch. So we'll go ahead and we'll pace ourselves. It's a little different than the beginning of Genesis, from Genesis 1:1 on. It's a little bit different. There are some inconsistencies there to be taken note of. Like I said, though, it's an extra-canonical book. It's ancient, but it's extra-canonical. So let's follow it along and see where it takes us. But that's why I say that before we read this, you should have a running knowledge of the Bible. That way, there's nothing that's going to mess with your knowledge of the Bible, the inconsistencies that are here, because as we read in the introduction, you've got like 3 different translations going on here from bits and pieces of it that they found in the caves and that they found in Greece, and they found actually an intact scroll of it in Ethiopia. So look at how many different translations we got going on here. So we got to figure that there's going to be some inconsistencies with our Bible. Take note of that. It's not canonical. It's extra-canonical. All right, and in knowing that, we're just reading a book, aren't we? Okay. Well, I hope y'all got something out of that tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed the reading, and I hope y'all will join me the next time that we study. As we go through this, it's going alongside of our Exodus study. That's how I planned this, is that we read Exodus, and then we read Jubilees. And then we read Exodus, and then we read Jubilees. And if you notice, I started this study, we're in Exodus 21 right now. We just finished 21 last night. So we're just getting into the law. We're just getting into the commandments. So it's going to be interesting to compare. All right? Well, I hope y'all stick with me on this. And I hope you enjoy it. And I will see y'all on our next study. So, Yah bless each and every one of you. And I'll see you later. Shalom.